We are going to create a Windows Server EC2 instance. Before we do that, we want to create a Windows Server security group. So I'll follow these instructions here on the left, and I will complete them here on the right. On the right, I've already logged into my lab. I've opened up the Amazon Web Services Web Management Console, and I need to access the EC2 service. I already have it open, but if you don't have it open, up in the search, if you search for EC2, it'll be the first result, virtual servers in the cloud. So you can go there. And in the left-hand side here, all these options, we want to scroll down until we find networks and security. We want to go right to security groups because we are going to create a security group. We want that big orange button right there, create security group. And it'll jump you down. You have to scroll back up to the top. Kind of annoying, but it is what it is. So name this your last name. My last name is Marquardson, Marquardson, Windows Server SG. So just put your last name in there. SG at the end just stands for security group. So then we glance at it, we know that this is a security group. We have to provide a description. Amazon doesn't let us continue without a description. So we'll call this Windows Server RDP for the remote desktop protocol and ICMP, the Internet Control Message Protocol. We should only have one virtual private cloud, so we can just leave that as the default. So what are we actually doing here when we create a security group? Well, the security group filters network traffic. It blocks all of the traffic coming into our Windows computer that we will create momentarily, unless we specifically allow that network traffic based off of these inbound rules. So we're going to add two rules one at a time. So I'm going to click Add Rule. So for the type here, I'm going to look down and find RDP. Lots of acronyms here. RDP stands for the Remote Desktop Protocol. You can scroll down and find it, or just type RDP and click it on the list. This is what will allow us to log in remotely to our server we will create momentarily. So if I click RDP, it'll fill in the protocol for me and the port for me. I can't even change it. It's grayed out. But now I have to say the source, like where should this computer allow connections from? And for several reasons, we're going to allow connections from anywhere. So you might be on university campus, you might be in an apartment or the dorms, anywhere. Any IP address in the world can attempt to connect. As long as they don't have your login credentials, they can't connect, so keep those credentials safe, but they can try to connect. They will not be blocked. Ideally, like Amazon says here, like we recommend you restrict this so that not anybody can even try, because typically in our lab environment, our IP addresses change. If we were to be more restrictive, we would have to update this rule every single time we wanted to use our lab environment, which is less than ideal. So we just need to be aware of that. I'm going to add another rule. And this time, I'm going to allow all ICMP IPv4, and the source is anywhere. There's a command called ping that lets you test connectivity. Ping falls under the ICMP umbrella. It's just a troubleshooting tool. So adding this rule would let people test connectivity to our virtual machine, including us. We can test connectivity to our own machine. So at the very bottom, we're going to scroll down. We'll just note that the outbound rules, so this is all from the perspective of that virtual machine we will create. Outbound is traffic that originates from our virtual machine going out to the public. And this says by default, our virtual machine will be able to send whatever it wants, which for us is fine. But you can imagine if you were storing sensitive information on that machine, you wouldn't want to let a hacker or a malicious employee or somebody just send data out anywhere, you might want to have some more fine-grained control there. But for us, this is good. So quick review. I gave it the name, last name, Windows Server SG, gave it a description, kept the VPC with its default selection. Added 2 inbound rules, RDP from anywhere IPv4, which filled in the source for me automatically, and all ICMP IPv4. The source was anywhere, and it filled that 0.0.0.0/0. That's basically a shortcut for anywhere. Filled that in, and I did not touch the outbound rules. The one that exists there is just fine. So I'm going to click Create Security Group now. And it won't take a long time. It's created. So looking at the breadcrumbs now, I'm in the EC2 service under security groups, and now I've got this specific security group that I just created. And I can see the details here. So in the lab, I've asked for a screenshot of this, so you can snag that. There's an example in the lab guide. But I can see my inbound rules. I've got 2 coming in, the RDP coming from 0.0.0.0/0, that's everywhere, and the ICMP coming from everywhere also. I can also take a look at my outbound rules just for giggles. I should see one rule that allows all traffic out, and indeed it does. So that's good. This security group is good to go. I'm ready to use it in the next part where we will actually create the Windows Server EC2 instance.